Hey, you guys, it's me, Brandaline Johnson. And on this episode, whether you're watching it on YouTube, Brandaline Johnson, or listening on Craving Consciousness podcast platforms, I am going to talk to you all about chords. And I'm going to talk to you about what is an energetic chord, how you get energetic chords, the different types of energetic chords, and things that can give you the chords, things that create chords, and then I'm going to share how to get rid of the different types of chords and what you feel like afterwards. It's amazing. So I got one of my students that took the Awaken program. She still had some questions about chording. So energetic chords are when we get an energetic attachment to something else. And when we have that energetic attachment, it weighs us down or it makes us keep thinking about a certain thing or having a certain feeling, right? Um, Imagine them like energetic strings, right? Imagine them like fiber optics, right? Imagine it like a bolt of lightning where all the little lines come in. You can literally have all of these cords attached to you when you're having all of these cords attached to you. Like I was saying, you could keep worrying about the same thing over and over, or you'll keep thinking about a certain person over and over. Um, you keep having a feeling in your belly about a certain idea that you can't get uncorded from, right? And so you can get cords from ideas. If you're just stuck on a certain idea and you won't stop thinking about it, it's kind of like you're attached to an idea or you're attached to the end result of what the idea would present you. And you kind of obsess about it. You can also get cords from other people's emotions. This is a huge one for all you empaths out there. You go into Walmart feeling normal, and then you come out feeling depressed or sad or angry or depleted. And the reason why this is a problem with empaths is because the most of them, unless of course they've worked with me and learned how to protect their energy amongst other things, but most of them have their energetic field completely open, and so they're just like walking right into like all kinds of a shit show when they're going to the Walmart. So that's like an emotional attachment that a lot of empaths will get. So they might leave that Walmart situation and the rest of the day or even longer, they're feeling depleted or sad or angry. Like I was saying, it's because they've gotten attached to someone that was in there. Maybe they were standing in front of them at the in the line when they were cashing out or something. Um, Another thing that is huge to create a court is if you lend somebody money or if you owe somebody money, right? Because number one, if somebody lends you money, and I could even tell you, even if I just gave you this pen, if I just lent you my pen, that's going to create an energetic cord as well. It's going to be a tiny one, because I don't really have, although I do like this pen, I don't have that much value attached to it with me. But if I lent you money, right? Or if you sign contract to coach with me and then you failed to pay, I'm definitely going to be cutting cords because that is that energetic transfer that's coming from you to me is give me my pen back or pay the money that you owe. Or if you owe money and say for example, you can't make that payment, your energetic cord is going to constantly be thinking of that person or entity that you owe the money to. So you're corded and it's draining you. It's making you feel heavier, right? People you connected with certain people, relationships, you're definitely going to be courted. Um, so again, it's an energetic transfer via the cord. You're going to keep thinking of somebody. Think about here's another one too. When you do learn how to cut cords, you're going to stop the energetic transfer between you and the other person. And a lot of times this is like as an example is the empathy and the narcissist, right? Because a lot of narcissists, they feed off the energy that's coming from the cord. They feed off your energy. I'll say that again. And when you disengage with them, right? You stop feeding their energy, you cut cords. A lot of times they will reach out automatically, randomly, because they intuitively, even though they don't know it, have stopped receiving the energy that's coming from the cord from you to this other person. So they stop receiving their energy. So they come back and then they want to hook you again. This is a probably for a whole other training, but they want to hook you again, you know, seriously speaking, like literally speaking, they want to hook you so that they could start receiving that energy from you again. This is huge with relationship dynamics. Another thing that happens with psychic readers and their clients, this is another way to get courted to people, because what's happening when you're a psychic reader, and I teach this inside my Awaken program, is you're sitting inside of your client's energy. Like you are literally becoming your client. And if the more empathetic you are too, if you like hang up your call with your client or your video, or your client leaves an in-person reading, and then you keep thinking of them and you keep tapping in to spirit world, because you're like, maybe I could have got more information. Maybe there was more information there, or I'm concerned about her, then to keep tapping in, you're going to drain your energy big time with that if you're a psychic reader, because you're connected to your client. So important to remove those cords from you and your client, to let them go on their way and let you go on your way energetically. Being open like that is not a good thing either. As a reader, you could end up being sick. It happened to me in the very beginning. Um, but there's also different types of cords, right? So, like I was saying, the pin would be a smaller cord than me, you signing a $10,000 contract with me. That's going to be a bigger cord. But your childhood cords too, that childhood trauma, or even, someone that you've loved for a really long time. Those cords are huge, right? That childhood trauma cord is huge. It's like, think of it as like a freeway. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's more and more energy is depleting from you. So, the childhood trauma, right? Certain ways that you can cut cords, and I'm going to share that with you now. And pretty much what it is that I do is, like I like to imagine like wiping it all off. Like the more you visualize you're actually moving energy, it's kind of like, would you say reverse clairaudience or clairvoyance, excuse me, psychic singing, like really moving energy via your psychic seeing, wiping away these cords off of you. When if you do Reiki, when I do Reiki, sometimes I could like literally feel the static on me. You can also give yourself like a Reiki bath if you're a Reiki practitioner, a Reiki shower rather, and shower it off with a Reiki. Taking a sea salt bath is amazing. It actually ionizes you. And all you're setting your intention with all of this is cutting the cord so that you're not attached to these beings, to the people, to the ideas, to the money, to the codependency, to the past trauma. You're just letting it all go, what no longer serves you. Taking a regular shower in the morning and visualizing all the cords that you picked up that day, or the night before or the day before, are being washed away. Because a lot of these cords are just what they're doing is they're preventing you from feeling whole, from being grounded, from getting more information from spirit, from being clear-headed. Because if you're having all these cords, then you're just it's like a distraction. It's almost like too much EMFs, too much electronics, if you think of it that way. Um, Another thing would be, if you have these really, really big cords, there are some energy workers that I have spoken with that don't like the idea of cutting cords. They like the idea of going in and getting it to the root. So with these deeper cords, you're going to want to set with yourself longer, or with an energy practitioner to kind of work through it. So like imagining what kind of cords did I get from childhood trauma? And when was that first time I experienced it? And can I find the root of this problem that keeps repeating itself over and over in my life? A lot of times it's going to be a cord. You can even have cords to past lives. So many cords, right? Um, Call on Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. They are amazing at cutting cords, right? So because Michael would use his sword. Archangel Michael, he has a sword. And then Archangel Raphael, he's the healing angel. And so he would fill those holes with gold. And you can imagine that as well. So that you're not just going to be big holy piece of Swiss cheese walking out with all these cords missing from you, right? You want to fill in your energetic space. You could do that with Archangel Raphael, or doing visualizations with yourself, or doing Reiki, or even just putting your hands on, because your energy is going to be moving, right? Um, this is Amazing. Another thing that I wanted to bring up on this topic is it's okay to cut cords from your past loved ones. This has been a big topic, because I teach psychic and mediumship development, and, I have lots of mediums that have trained with me, and their clients get concerned or they gets concerned. If I cut cords from my past loved one, is that telling them I don't love them anymore? Like, you already went through enough trauma with losing them in your life. Um, and so then a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to cut cords from my past loved ones because, I want to see signs and all this. But I do want to say, from in my experience, and probably a lot of you out there, is we have a lot of trauma in our childhood. Uh Now when our past loved one crosses over, their ego, they're not in their ego, they're more as their essence as a soul. But you probably still have cords to your childhood trauma. You probably have cords to that codependency, right? You probably have cords with serious grief. It's okay to cut cords with that past loved one, and you could set the intention like, look, I'm cutting cords because these things don't serve me. These cords don't serve me. It's okay. Your loved one is not going to get pissed off. They're not going to leave you. They're not going to take it as a big F you, right? They already know what's going on the other side now. So it's okay to remove cords from your past loved ones as well. Um, and just setting that intention that you don't want to keep having this trauma brain of their judgment that they would have judged you when they were alive, right? And now they're not judging you. So you don't need to sit in that judgment anymore. So you could cut cords from it. And once you cut cords, you feel lighter. You can think clearer. You can make better decisions. You could get better downloads from spirit. You have less drama and you have a way less energy drain and you get a lot more shit done. Uh, right? So that is basically the topics that I wanted to cover today. For me, I also like to imagine grounding and bringing up the earth energy through like roots from myself and feeling the energy of earth and then allowing it to fill me up and then letting the cords wash them away and go down back to the ground as if you were a um a willow tree, letting it all come out and go down. And then giving gratitude afterwards, and then see how things change. And if you need to cut cords a couple times, that's great. Some of you guys need to cut cords every day. If you're an empath and you're working in a large public place, you might need to go to the bathroom and cut cords a couple times during your shift just so you have your energy. We call this energy management, folks, and we teach this inside my Awaken program. I am sending you guys all love. Please share this with your friends and anybody that needs to cut cords.